it live. So not like there's going to be anyone here yet because I haven't exactly posted this anywhere. So hello, non-people, because there's not going to be anyone here. Ooh! I can't play Taylor Swift on a live.
No, yeah, that would be bad.
Well, we'll get banned. No.
More than 8 seconds and they'll come after you.
It was like 3 seconds, and to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if someone came after me for 3 seconds of Taylor Swift.
If they did that, they'd have to come after every GIF with sound.
Oh, that's true. I've gone down the rabbit hole of Taylor Swift conspiracy theories in the last couple of days.
That's an interesting thing.
No, it is.
What's your favorite Taylor Swift conspiracy theory? That's a good question.
That's a good question. Right now, I'm super interested. There's this new band that just like popped up on Spotify called Nice Boy Ed. And there's only 2 songs. This person has only been on there for like a couple days. And they played one of the songs before one of her concerts. And so there are people who think that the band is Taylor Swift, Jack Antonoff, who's the lead singer of the Bleachers, Aaron Dressner, who I can't remember who he's the singer or guitarist for, and then Marcus Mumford, and that they've all made like a band together, and that Nice Boy Ed means nice boy education. Taylor's gonna teach boys how to be nice.
That's interesting.
It's so like, oh my gosh, stop. Okay, there we go. It's so, I just listened to myself for a second. I'm going to share this on the, not Instagram, on the Discord.
On the places. Oh, I just listened to you say I listened to myself.
That's just like a little
Inception thing.
Yeah, Inception. Little like fourth wall crossing. Okay, where am I gonna put it? I'm gonna put it in the what's the other? Is it Jimmy's doing another readathon?
No, it's in Keymark. That's where I'm at.
What's Keymark?
So Keymark Discord is run by an author who's the author of Legend of Blackjack.
Oh, AJ or AR with him?
Yeah, Andy. Yeah, AR with him. So he's running a thing. Yeah. So, oh look, Anith is here.
Hello. If you would like to join on screen, Anith, you're more than welcome to. I can send you the link in the Discord thing.
The Discord.
The Discord, if you would like to join us up here.
Yeah, no, it's yeah, so I watched probably like the first half hour of Twisted today just because like it came up in conversation. People were talking about Aladdin and I'm like, but have you guys seen the untold story of the Royal Vizier?
The Royal Vizier. We did. Joe and I did just watch Aladdin. So
you should follow it up with the untold story of the Royal Vizier.
Is it
beautiful?
Is it very like Wicked-esque where it makes you feel?
Yeah, it's literally a riff on Wicked, but Aladdin and Star Kid. So like the first song is literally called F.U. Jafar. Well, I don't think it's called F.U. Jafar, but that's basically what the song should be called. It's I think it's called Follow Your Dreams because they do the whole Follow Your Dreams bit. Mm-hmm. But like it's literally riffing on everything Disney.
What's Jafar's dream?
To bring about the third golden age because he's a misunderstood vizier that wants to actually fix the economy.
He wants to fix the economy, of course.
Yeah, he's misunderstood. And Jasmine is an appropriately spoiled princess.
Oh, and so she's not trying to be free or anything.
She is, but she's selfish. Just a spoiled brat as well.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean, you can see it. You can see it a little bit.
No, it's like heavily emphasized.
Oh, okay. Okay. Is Raja in it?
Because it's Star Kid, no, because they can't afford a title. Well, I don't remember. I know that the first scene where it essentially takes place around the events of Aladdin. Mm-hmm. There are some scenes that are you could call them remastered scenes in there. Aladdin is a gem, a really weird gem. But the guy who plays him plays the role. Like when I say he's a gem, you're going to question me when you actually see it. What I mean by that is that the guy who plays him plays the role exceptionally.
Is this pre? Or, well, it can't be pre. Is it post Darren Criss Starkid?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not.
Yeah. It's like decent quality video and stuff like that.
Give me 10 or 15.
Like everything except a Harry Potter musical, and I think everything except a Harry Potter musical is excellent quality when they post it to YouTube.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I love a Harry Potter musical though. You can't hate on that.
It's so good.
Come here.
Well, that one and Me and My Dick were bad quality.
I have not seen that.
That one's a trip. Like that one is one you want to watch when you're high.
What?
Because it was very weird to watch when I was not.
For the sole purpose of it's weird when you're sober.
Yes. Just the title is more literal than you think. Hi, Fitz.
He said hello.
It's a geek cat.
Dance. He's not very happy with me right now. I opened the window for him. He has his cat trees in front of the window, and I opened it so he can smell out of the screen, and he just wants me to let him go smell things. But I want cuddles. Yes.
But Mom.
He was being a little butthole earlier. Oh, you okay, bud? He goes between being super duper. He's like the Sour Patch Kid.
I feel like that's like, so he's being a cat.
Is that all cats? Is that how
it's not all cats, because some cats, depending on their age and some other things, but like being a butthole, being nice, like that's like the duality of catness.
He's either stepping on my face or he's snuggling me when I don't feel good, and there's like no in between.
Yeah, that's the duality of Katniss. Not Katniss Everdeen, but
that would be very weird if it was Katniss Everdeen.
I mean, you could argue that is the duality of Katniss Everdeen. And in this essay, I will explain to you why Katniss is actually a cat.
Oh my gosh. I saw there's like a whole bunch of spoofs on that now that are like on Netflix and stuff. I didn't know there were quite that many spoofs on Hunger Games.
That doesn't surprise me. I've known of at least one.
I haven't watched any of them, but
yeah.
Oh, hello, Greg.
Greg.
It's a mysterious. It's like finding a Chansey in the wild.
Greg, you would like this. This is interesting.
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask if you went back to your church to get it or
not. I did go back to church and get it today because I went swimming not early in the morning. It was 10 o'clock. That's not early. I went to church because I had to get it because it was just like freaking eating at my mind. I was like, I need to read it, which is great.
Very like. I figured you might like that. I haven't read it, but ow, cat, no. See what I mean? I put my hand underneath my chair for a second, and he just glommed onto it. It's very much like it reminds me of Dr. Strange and Mr. Norrell.
It definitely does not have the writing style of it, but
well, it's kind of hard to mimic her writing style.
Yeah, but it's not like supposed to be a ode to the Regency era. It actually takes place it starts like 30, 40 years before Dr. Strange Mr. Norrell takes place. But you got Wilberforce and abolition. You got Robespierre and the French Revolution. Wilberforce is one of the big guys in England in British abolition. Okay,
I just for prefaces, I have no idea who that is. And when you said it, all I could think of was like Wilbur the pig from Charlotte's Web and like some sort of like Air Force thing. Wilberforce, like this, like. But I would like to preface that with the fact that I'm on Percocet right now for my.
That's beautiful.
So
it's a perfect time to watch
medication. Just saying, but it makes my brain do weird things.
What do you? Did you have surgery recently, or am I missing
Mhm.
something?
I had
I'm
surgery
missing something.
this past Wednesday.
Dang, I'm missing everything.
No, it's okay. I haven't really talked about it a ton on Discord. But I know I mentioned it last night on Sprints. I was on Sprints with Evie and Anita, but yeah, I just got off the phone with my doctor earlier today, and I actually have to be off of school for 2 weeks because of it. So I'm about to be reading a lot of stuff.
Perfect timing.
Because I have nothing to do except for read and play Animal Crossing. So it's going to be my life.
Look,
Yeah.
that's not a bad life. Well, actually, no, I'd go crazy if that was my life. I apologize.
I'm already going crazy. Like
At least
laying.
you're not quarantined.
That's true. I can leave my house. I left my house today to get Panera, and that was it.
Nice. Was it leg or was it like
No, it was abdominal, but it was laparoscopic, so it wasn't that bad. But
I
there
don't
was
know what
just
that
like
word
a
means.
complication. That's when they go in with like
Oh, with the cool little
the
thing with
cool
the
little
camera.
doohickeys in the camera. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Little grabber arms at the end of a little.
yeah. The little like the stuff where they tell the surgeons that you should play video games to up your dexterity.
Yeah, the video game surgery.
Which is why I will never, ever, 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 ever be a surgeon, because no one should ever trust me to do anything that you require video game skills to do. Because I go in the wrong direction and I face the wrong way in Animal Crossing. So, though I did play Halo the other day. Hey, 9:30. I don't know what time zone you're
I
at, but
think
I'm
she's an hour
assuming an hour
behind.
behind.
I think she's in Central.
Okay. Yes. Well, we'll
Which
make sure
can
to
be
like start reading in a couple
soon.
minutes so that you can actually get a little reading done.
But yeah, so French Revolution, English Abolition, and Jamaican Revolution, and Jamaican Slave Revolution.
You're making me crazy.
Yeah, basically, it's like I think so. I was like worried that this whole like the rights of magicians would take place of the whole rights of slaves and stuff like that and abolition,
Mhm.
and that's not what happened at all. And I'm so glad they actually managed to seamlessly, like the author managed to seamlessly insert like this whole discussion around whether or not commoners have the right to use their magic as they will, because like
That's cool.
commoner magicians have like bands around their wrists from birth of just like, hey, yeah, so you got magic in your blood, we're gonna put a band on you that grows with you that like hurts you if you do magic, like burns
Oh
your
my,
skin and everything. Yeah.
that's horrible. So that's like taking away your natural born part of who you
Yeah.
are and
And
punishing you for
there's like
it.
historical precedent because there were these vampires that were trying to take over the world and everything, and the Knights Templar and came and defeated them, and now they're the people that kind of bureaucratically administer all this stuff because we don't want that to happen again. So
Okay, this sounds so when I read like the back of the book, because trust me, have you ever had those books where you like look at them in the bookstore and you're like, nah, man, and you keep looking at them every time you go there, but you never pick them up? That's one of them, because I read the back and I was like, this seems like okay, but I don't really know if I'll like it. You've kind of sold me now.
yeah, no, this is going to be my long price quartet. I will trumpet this
Ooh,
book to the it is as long as it like sticks the landing. Like I'm halfway through the first book of 2 and like I'm already like, this is amazing.
that is some very big words. That's
Like it is, but like it hits all the right buttons for me because you have it's political fantasy first of all. And then you also have just like it's I think the thing that I really like is people trying to make the world better through politics and failing, succeed. Like it's not like, and the struggles that come with that, right? That's why Dandelion Dynasty has like risen to like the top thing in my like the top series that of all time that I've read, because it is inherently a bunch of people trying a bunch of different ways to make the world better through politics.
Ooh, maybe no, it's not on my list for the readathon. I cannot pick up Grace.
No, don't pick it up for the readathon. I wouldn't suggest it, but do pick it all up and read it all because it's amazing. But like, hey Rogue, It's just I also like this is a personal thing is with Wilberforce. So the reason I know Wilberforce is because there was a movie called Amazing Grace that was about abolition, right? He famously converted to Christianity, and after his conversion to Christianity, like went hard on abolishing slavery in England because he's like, look, these like him, and then he had a bunch of Quaker friends as well. Like they're like,
Quakers, man.
yeah, the Quakers went ham with abolition with against slavery. It was great, but not to pun on the whole Wilberforce thing, but
Him, the Quakers. K Fox loves the Quakers. We
yeah,
talk about the Quakers a lot. No, I'm gonna have to pick it up. I'm gonna have to do it because it sounds really good.
I've already convinced somebody on my Discord to read it, and then I think Andrew Wizard is probably going to read it soon because he said it's like on order or whatever. I'm like, you should read it. And he's like, yes, it sounds like something I'll love, and I'm like, yes.
I just assume that Andrew reads everything. Like if I've heard of it and it's not like a YA fantasy romance, he's read it.
He's read it, yeah.
Or going to in the near future. But I am reading. Did you ever read any of the Ari Salvatore, Pete?
I haven't read it. I at one point I had 2 copies of it, and then I like unhauled one.
Pete, I feel like the Forgotten Realms stuff is just like right up your alley. I feel like you would love specifically the Dark Elf trilogy.
So probably. I think my issue with Forgotten Realms is it seems like somebody slapped a bunch of fantasy tropes together and it doesn't work very well together. Like, I mean, the setting of Forgotten Realms, let me be specific. And this is like D&D, me like, Forgotten Realms is bland.
Well, I mean, it is D&D. That's what it is.
Yeah. Okay, K Fox. This book. So you have Robespierre, French Revolution, Guillotine, which just happened or started to happen. You have Wilberforce with the abolition of slavery in England and that whole fight. And then you also have Jamaican/Haitian revolutions, slave revolutions.
So you don't feel like they're trying to do too much at once? Because that is a lot.
It is a lot. I think there's a lot of focus on Wilberforce over the other stuff, but like there's also like shadowy figures and stuff like this. I'm sorry, you're just continuing. You're just gonna giggle at that all night. It's gonna be great.
I'm never gonna not be able to see like a pig
pigs flying through the air like it's a pig Wilbur Air Force.
Yes.
Hi, Anitha.
Mike's doing a live with him like right now with Ari Salvatore. I'm gonna have to watch that later. Anitha, I can't hear you. If there's something with your mic. I swear I don't have you muted. I'm gonna have to watch that after it's done.
Yeah, he's written a lot of stuff. He's written in like the Star Wars universe and stuff too.
Ari Salvatore is written into the Star Wars universe?
Yep.
Didn't know that.
No, we cannot hear you right now, Anitha. Nope. I see you pointing, but I see your mouth moving. I can't.
Oh.
I feel like she thinks we're joking and we can't hear her right now.
We're having technical difficulties right now.
Y'all, can you like confirm that we can't hear her? Thank you, Emily. You're much very helpful. So she knows we're not messing with her.
I should try to get Jake on here right now so that I can just sing my Beatles song and get it over with, and I don't have to post it on the Discord. I asked if my like whole Beatles video counted, but I never got a response.
Dang. I am debating whether I actually want to do that.
Oh, come on, Pete. You can do it. Consent underneath the sound. Oh, we believe you.
See, Anitha, we're not like joking.
Technical difficulties. Did you try turning it off and back on again?
Read this.
Why don't we, while Anitha's attempting to reconnect and stuff, start a sprint? And if Anitha, I'm not watching it because I've only read Star Wars books, I would highly recommend Dark Elf Trilogy. Anitha, when you get it rebooted or whatever, feel free to unmute and try to say something and see if it works. Hi, Derry. I haven't seen you in forever.
Is that Derry?
I know. If you wanna, Derry, if you wanna come on, send me a message. I'll send you the link if you would like to.
I'm trying to think what time it is for her. It's like what? She's like 14 hours. Is she 14 or 16?
Yeah. Are you ready to go to bed? I don't really know.
Well, no. If it's 14 hours ahead, then she's getting up.
Oh, getting up. Yes.
Well, actually, if it's 14 hours ahead, it might be like close to noon.
I'm just bad with math and don't want to math right now.
I'm trying to remember because I remember I was on sprints with her the other day, and I think it was midday here. No. I don't know what time. I think it was maybe this time it was almost. It's late at night, and
12:15 p.m. I will send you the link in the
2:15. So she's 14 hours ahead. I have to remember 14. Like that's just time zones are hard.
We're all very functional right now.
Very much. And I'm not even on Percocet.
I was FaceTiming Joe earlier, and I was totally normal, totally fine, like just kind of sleepy because I had been sleeping. And then all of a sudden I was like talking a million miles a minute, and it was like, it's supposed to make you sleepy. Apparently doesn't make me sleepy right away.
Oh, that's great.
Hits me, makes me a little like crazy, and then I pass out.
So what you need to do is just consume a lot of Cosmere content before it makes you all crazy, so you can come out with the wildest Cosmere theories right when you go a million miles an hour.
That would be ideal. I should plan that. I have started reading because Evie's not on here, I don't have to feel bad about saying the F word, the Sanderson word. Sanderson. I started reading book 2. It wasn't that I wasn't caught up in it. It's actually really, really fast to read because it's written in first person.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's super, super fast, but it's also very like conversational. So it like, it's completely.
You read Alcatraz?
Well, yeah. Huh? Have I read Alcatraz? No.
Oh, okay. So just ask if it was similar because I can't remember if Alcatraz was first person, but I remember Alcatraz was very like, it felt like he was having a conversation with, like, felt like very fourth wall breaking.
Very fourth wall breaking. Emily, my friend, feels like that. One of my really good friends, she can't take anything that's an antihistamine. It's like a specific reaction that a lot of people have. She did bring it up first yesterday. She was the one who asked me if I finished Elantris, and let me just say, I will tell everyone and shout from the rooftops when I finish Elantris because it will be me climbing the mountain. I will be Sisyphus finally reaching the top of the mountain with the rock and then dancing on top of it and saying, I'm finally finished.
You have 2 whole weeks to finish it.
2 whole weeks? A little bit.
Come on, a book a day. You're in the middle of a readathon. You can do this.
I know. See, I disappoint people with my Elantris feelings. But then again,
you don't disappoint me whatsoever. I really like Elantris, but like I understand the objections.
I feel like if I read it first, I would really have liked it. But the fact that I read like
everything else
first means that like I can't even remember Serene. I can't do Serene. She's Shallan, 1.0, and it's boring.
She's Shallan 0.5. Yeah, I understand.
She's so boring. It just makes me want Shallan to be there because Shallan's my homegirl. People think she's annoying. I know people who have stopped reading those books because of Shallan, and I was like, y'all be crazy.
Like, so I'll be honest. I wasn't a fan of her storyline in Rhythm of War, but that was mostly because of the mystery. Because I think the mystery was terrible. Stupid.
Really?
Yeah, no, it doesn't like the core reason why I didn't like the mystery in Rhythm of War is there was no chance for the reader to actually figure it out. Zero chance. And that's like the big thing about mysteries is you want the reader to be able to at least guess and get it right. And even if you guessed, you were wrong.
Okay, so you're not saying that you don't like the end result. You just don't think it was a very well executed mystery?
I don't think I like the end result either, honestly. I think that I think I would have rather it been one of the main suspects.
Okay, I can see that.
I honestly would rather have it been cut out. I think that Rhythm of War needed more war in it, and if we had more, I think if we had more of a focus on Yasna and Dalinar developing a relationship on the where they were at. And I'm sorry for just blurting out
on the spoilers.
I'm very sorry, but I think if we had those two, more focus on those two in Rhythm of War, that the book would have been better and more thematically consistent.
I just think that I love it because I'm a scientist and I loved all of the science.
No, yeah, I love that part.
So
oh my gosh, I wouldn't change a bit about that all the scientist stuff. Like that's great. It's the Shallan parts that I think is just
religion and politics is interesting in Elantris. I agree. I had the thing about Hrathen at the end of the book has been completely spoiled for me also. And so it's like,
and I think Harathan's like arc, like if you don't, it's much better if you don't know where it's going.
Yeah, probably.
Testing.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Yeah. There's no. He didn't actually spoil anything for you, Emily.
I technically, I mentioned 2 character names, and that's it. And those are both technically spoilers, in my opinion.
Well, don't point out that they're spoilers, and then we'll forget that they were spoilers.
Yeah, I shouldn't have pointed out. I'm sorry. You're just plowed through.
Thank you, Emily. Thank you.
What are you reading tonight, Anita?
I am going to read In the Lives of Puppets by T.J. Klune. New arc. NetGalley arc.
Did you finish Dragonhaven? Nice. I haven't started yet.
Hey, Daddy. Hello. When will you start?
Whenever I finish this book, that's my brainworm right now. I literally can't.
You're not going to go straight into the second one, Pete?
I don't have the second one.
I mean, that could easily be easily.
Oh, trust me, I've already ordered
it. Daddy, have you finished Way of Hidan?
I haven't. I've been really slack, but I got a new puzzle. My best friend bought me a puzzle at the op shop, so I'm working on a 1,500-piece puzzle, which lends itself to audio rather than physical. So I'm doing Feast for Crows.
Slacking.
Nice.
Yeah, he's got to move his ass, and then I can do it on audio. But I need to get it done this month for readathon. Sure. So,
of course. What's the picture on the puzzle? Can you show us the picture for the puzzle?
I can't because I am weird and I throw away jigsaw puzzle boxes because they take up too much space. Yeah, I do it without the picture.
Derry, you're a legend. Like that's the most interesting like jigsaw puzzle habit I have heard of in a while.
No, seriously, I throw away the boxes, and this one appears to be a castle on some mountains, so that's exciting. Yeah, and it's taking me ages longer. Normally, 2 days, 2 full-on days of jigsaw puzzling, I can do 1,000 pieces, and I don't think I'm even a third of the way through this one yet.
Wild.
So, it's wow.
Have you done one of the ones where like the picture on the cover doesn't match?
I've done loads of those.
Or like where there's extra pieces or no edges.
Yep. My favorite, well, I say favorite, it is my favorite. The one that I've found hardest is one I got recently from an op shop. And it's a picture of just, I don't know, dozens of Dalmatians all just sitting in and around each other. And it's double-sided. So the same picture is on the back, rotated 90 degrees. And it has no edges.
What?
And there are 5 extra pieces. And the cutting is done from both directions. So one is cut from the top down, one is cut from the bottom up. So you can't even tell by the edges of the pieces which is the top and which is the bottom.
That is, and you don't use the picture. You're just like operating jigsaw puzzles on extra hard mode. Then, like, Barry, what?
I
That's
love jigsaw
wild.
puzzles.
You just go ham.
Have you ever done a single color one?
I haven't. But my mother told me years and years ago that when I was very little, when I got bored of jigsaws, I would turn them upside down and do them from the back.
Oh my gosh.
But these were children's puzzles, so I imagine that was easier. Hey, Kitty!
Fitz.
What's doing?
Fitz chivalry. He is living his best life.
Oh, good work. I'm glad somebody with that name is.
I know.
So how are you guys doing with your reads? What are you reading?
I'm reading A Declaration of the Rights of a Magician, and I'm loving it. Like, oh my gosh.
I haven't heard about that book until yesterday. And from yesterday, I heard like 5 times from just Pete.
My God. It's
the moment.
Like, this is reached, like, I'm halfway through this book, and I'm confident this is going to be my long price quartet type of deal.
Ooh.
Like,
told them those were some big words.
It's like, really big words, but like it's as long as she sticks the landing. I think it's a she that wrote it, but like so we have Robespierre, French Revolution.
Wilbur.
We have Wilberforce, which is not a pig flying an airplane, and the abolition.
Jamaican.
And then we have the Haitian and Jamaican slave revolutions.
Ooh.
All combined with like magic and stuff. Right, so Declaration of the Rights of Magicians, right? So you have like commoners, they have like bracelets and stuff that are if they have magic in their blood. So and the bracelets actually like burn them if they use their magic and stuff.
Oh, okay, right.
Like and it's really cool how this like whole rights of commoners to use their magic has been integrated with all of these movements that have been happening and like slavery is like it's both dumb it's the more brutal and violent aspects of slavery have been dumbed down a little bit because of how magic has affected slavery, but the fundamental injustice of it has been accentuated tenfold because what they do is there's actually like this solution that they give the slaves that makes them more susceptible to mesmers, to like brain control. So they literally don't have control of their own bodies.
Mesmers.
Wow.
Yeah. So there's this whole debate about using alchemy on the slaves and like trying to and how that so it's accentuating to like, hey, you're taking away you're literally taking away the free will of thousands upon thousands of people.
Wow. Okay.
That's so freaking cool how she like wove everything in, and it's a really good.
Some brains.
Yeah. It hits all the right buttons for me.
Clearly, this is a happy reading face.
Yes, despite talking about these horrible things.
No, but it's engaging because you get to think about it and how it all works together. And I was trying to explain this to my friend last night about how reading sprints are amazing. And she said, I don't get it. I'm like, not a lot of people do until they join one. And then you realize that this is like the book reading equivalent of jumping small talk.
Yeah.
No, we're going to talk about deep, profound things about the books that we're reading, and it's fabulous.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I get it. I get the joy of reading about awful things. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Somebody needs to do an essay on it or something.
Hey,
sounds like a good essay.
For us.
This is why some of my book reviews end up being 30 minutes long when I put them out. But,
yeah.
Derry, I'm reading R.A. Salvatore. Yes. Old school Forgotten Realms.
I when I first turned you on, someone was saying, why aren't you reading the interview with Mike? So, and I kind of second that. Did you not know he had R.A. on?
I had no idea. So I will watch afterwards now. Yeah. But I had absolutely no idea.
Yeah, I didn't realize until it came up on my feed that he was going to go live soon. And I was like, if I read those kind of books, then I would probably be just overjoyed that it was happening. But I'm not. And then I couldn't for the life of me think of anyone who I knew that should be told. Like, I'm sure I know people that need to know that this is happening, but I can't think of any of them right now. So, but yeah. What about you, Anita? What are you reading?
I finished Dragon Haven, and
That's right. Yes. How are you feeling?
so happy. I mean, I was like, when I finished Fool's Fate, I was like, how do we stay away from Fizz for 4 books? Now I am like, who is Fizz?
Yeah. It's like, I'm good. This is exciting. I want to know all the things. Yeah.
It's so good. Oh my god, I have so much to talk about. Uh,
Yay.
it's so good. I cannot tell you. I mean, I understand tropes are a little bit YA, but still
Yeah.
that thematic exploration of that
So many
identity and
things.
that gender politics.
Yeah.
So well done. My God,
Yeah.
I cannot wait to talk about it.
Yay. Sorry.
And I'm reading In the Lives of Puppets by TJ Klune. That's his new upcoming book. I'm reading
I've read
NetGalley.
something by TJ
House in the
Clue.
Cerulean Sea. You must have read.
No, I haven't read that one. I must have read something else.
Under
Or
a
maybe I
Whispering
just know the name really well because of that.
Maybe.
That could be it. Yes. Anyway.
Shall we read? And hello, Stacy.
Yes,
Sorry, I
hello.
dropped my book. Bending does not feel good right now.
That's all right. I'm sure it's worth it.
It will be, yes. Let us. What time should we read till? Should we go till top of the hour?
Yeah, that's half an hour. That sounds good.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Bless you.
All right.
Sorry.
All right. We'll see everybody in half an hour at the top of the hour. I will never ever do an Irish accent again. That was terrible.
Pete is ignoring us.
Pete has us on mute. There we go.
Stacy, what are you reading? Derry, what are you listening to? Are you listening to any book?
Yes, I've got Feast for Crows going. So
Ah,
even though no one invited me to a Feast of Crows discussion, never mind.
okay.
It's one of those people forget I've read more than just Realm of the Elderlings. But
What, Stacy? You read books that aren't Robin Hobb? I'm
Derry,
confused.
really good. Nice.
No, K Fox, I don't hate you. I just love the book I'm reading. So like, there's a difference.
There is a difference, and there's being so into it that it actually takes quite a lot to pull your attention away.
Yes, big things just happened.
That's exciting. Well,
The
Sharon's happy with
terror.
greatcoats. That's awesome to hear.
Good. One of these days, I gotta get to that.
I actually have the first one. I picked it up free.
I have the second one.
Oh, well, between us, we've got a good start going.
Right? You just need to go on StreamYard or whatever and just like page by page.
Yeah, absolutely. Just go, we're reading together. Tell me when. So, but yes. I'm waiting. Cersei's at the moment busy just muddying the waters in King's Landing, and it's so much fun. And Stacey still only read Assassin's Apprentice.
She's a very plot-driven person. If my
not
brain
be
is,
for you then.
I remember thinking, oh, Assassin's Apprentice is in a Stacy book.
But that's okay.
Dirty Rich Done Dirt Cheap. I like that wrong name.
It's a great song. Yeah, but then again, the new one by Sebastian de Castell, is that an arc? I've got a feeling that's an arc.
Probably,
Or
because
it's
Alan
only
just finished it as
out.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is because Alan just finished it. So
Yeah.
him and his arc obsession.
Yes, for someone who struggles to read as much as he would like
Yeah.
to, he does get a lot of arcs in under his belt. So
There is a reason I do not have a NetGalley account. I do bad enough when people ask me to read their arcs as it is, and I rarely do that. So
I thought about it for a while, and I did get a NetGalley account, and then my brain kicked in and said, new books are hard. What are you doing? And so, yeah, I went, okay, I don't need to sign into that.
After I have two more, other than current book, I have two more. After that, I am never requesting NetGalley arcs. Oh my God. I cannot take this pressure.
No,
yeah,
but
that's
you're
really what
nearly
it
done
is.
with them. You're nearly done with them.
The last arc that I got was Bonds of Chaos by Zach Argyle, and I never got a review out for it.
Okay.
Oh.
Going back a little ways.
Yeah, that was like last November.
Yeah. Well,
I am very tempted to ask for an arc from Tiago, though.
it was different when you're in the series. Like if you're in a series, you're just getting it earlier than everybody else. Because you're going to read it regardless.
There's the same thing with Threadlight. At the same time, like I hit like a booktube slump at that point in time. So like I was reading, but I wasn't posting. And now it's arguable that like I still need to get back on track with posting. But I'm never going to go back to the whole like 2 things a week. That's not
Yeah, I struggle to do one a week.
Yeah.
But never mind. I should get better. I'm doing lives for Europe time tomorrow, doing sprints. And then probably every second day through the month, because I did almost every day last week and just hit the wall. I was like, yeah, I'm done.
You know, we don't realize it, but even reading sprints can be very tiring. I don't
Oh
understand,
yeah.
we
Oh
get
yeah.
very exhausted, after sometimes after our hop discussions, I get so tired, I don't even want to film after that.
I go back
Yeah.
to bed quite often.
Yep.
Because I'm genuinely invested and I'm genuinely there and on and engaging every part of my brain. And then when I'm finished, I'm like, and that was my entire day's reserve.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Go back
I mean,
to bed.
I never thought it would be so tiring that it takes that amount of energy from us. Even not just discussions, even something like these reading sprints. These are chill, but even I get tired after these.
Yeah.
Because you're here. It's not like a meaningless social interaction where you're not really paying attention to anybody and you're just being nice to be like, oh, hi, yes, the weather's fine, nice to meet you. And you're not really engaged because we like everybody that we're talking to. We're paying attention and we're like, yes, I want to engage in this conversation. And we're watching the comments and we're like, oh, keep track of that because I want to talk about that in a minute. And we're genuinely here. Like, I'm
Mhm.
present in the
Yeah.
moment. And that takes
And
emotional spoons. It takes
yeah.
spoons to
Yeah,
do that.
and we are
And it's a
passionate
lot.
about the books we like, and the conversation it leads to. I think that consumes a lot of energy.
Absolutely. And you're listening because you're like, this person is really excited about what they're reading. So, okay, I like this person. And so their opinion has value, has weight. So I need to listen to what they're telling me
Mhm.
and see if that's something that's going to appeal to me or not. But you're genuinely thinking about what's being said. And like I said, it's very different to small talk. It's very different to just hanging out with people you know. This is people who share your passion for something.
Mhm.
And so, we're here. We're in the moment. We're being very night eyes. We're in the moment.
In the
Yeah,
moment with Fitz.
Well, yes, we
Stacey,
are. Because Fitz is totally rolling Kate's live stream right now.
Stacey, I was an extrovert as a kid, but I think I'm turning into an introvert. I don't know.
Mhm. I
There's
think there's a
definitely change.
yeah, no, I think there's a little bit more of that with me as well. It's like I was a lot more extroverted and then COVID happened.
Okay.
So,
Mm.
and it's
I
still I think I'm still like one of those people that if I stay at home too long, I do get depressed. And I think that inherently is an extroverted trait. Uh,
possibly.
but I think the introverted side of me that is more of a result of reading more and being more engaged with the books a lot more sometimes, just that taking the place of sometimes of just like that almost that emotional energy of just like that weird emotional recharge from reading books about terrible things to happening to people.
Yeah. Because it's invigorating and it gets
Yeah.
the brain going and you really think about things. And that can be far more meaningful sometimes than going out and talking to people because you're like,
Mhm.
I'm not getting that from that social interaction. And so, yeah, I get it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
do.
There are certain it sound I don't know. It just I don't know how to say it. It was say this without sounding super just like I don't know,
Hey, look,
douchey, but like there's
book
this
is better than
certain
people quite often.
there's this certain type of thinking that I do that's really that like these fascinating thoughts about these things that
Yes,
there are very few people that can engage me like that. So,
which is why these conversations with other readers who are also looking for those layers and who are looking for themes and how real life issues are being interpreted into fantasy or science fiction and how a theory or a concept is being discussed about human nature or
mhm,
all of these things, these really meaty things that we don't talk to most of our friends about because
mhm.
most of our friends aren't readers and aren't having those sort of profound thinking
On
train
a
of
day-to-day
thought.
basis, or they
Yeah.
aren't having that profound thought at the same time we are.
No, that's right. And able to share that language about
Mhm.
that profound thought. in that, you know, we have a shared language around this story and we have a shared language around this world, where I could say, okay, we're talking racism in Discworld, and we immediately know we're talking trolls and dwarves, and okay, we're going to use that framework to discuss a real world issue. But someone else is thinking just as profoundly about something completely other in the reading world.
That's actually like a really, really good point, Derry, about how the fact that it gives us a frame, like it. Not only do we all consistently have the same, similar, profound thoughts along the same lines because we're reading the same books, but it gives us a framework to discuss these profound thoughts that we're thinking, and that's a really good, that's really good.
Well, because the real world doesn't give us a fixed example of anything, and
Yeah.
so each written piece of text can be really nuanced, but at least that text is fixed. And that's the situation we're discussing. And we all know the situation we're discussing, and we all know that this is all of it and all about it. That's what we're discussing. And even a fixed piece of writing can have so much nuance and so many things that you can discuss, that when you consider having that conversation about a real life situation, there's so much more to it. It's overwhelming. But by having that shared framework, you can keep that conversation quite tight. And I love that. I love it so much. It's so great. But yeah.
That's especially true for Dragon Keeper and Dragon Haven for me, because it discussed so much about these women's issues, the pressure
So
on them.
much.
You know, not everyone understand that, because people have different perspectives, people have different kind of lifestyles. But what Hope gave us very realistic, and
And there's no judgment in that
I
story.
have so. I mean, I was going through other. Yeah, I was going through other reviews today for Dragon Haven. People gave like 1 star, 2 stars. They were hating one of the characters. She was like, I was so bored in her POV. She doesn't. She only talks about whom does she want to do
Be
it.
with.
They used a different word anyway,
Yeah.
and no, that's very okay.
That's
No
such a
offense to
small
anyone.
part of it.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
offense to anyone, but when you are so privileged, you cannot connect with that person. But not everyone is that privileged. People
No.
go through that. People
Yeah.
do feel that pressure. Actually, that was so realistic. What Hope did was, oh my god,
Yeah.
I mean, to add to your point and Pete's point, it does give us that exact framework to talk about it.
Yeah. And be really specific about, this is what's being discussed in this book. And everything we talk is going to come back to this book, instead of going off on, you know, hour-long tangents talking about something that it's really hard to come back from. To keep pulling it back to one thing, to one theme, to one character, to one plot line, it can make for really incredibly invigorating and intense conversation. And all you're doing is sitting and talking about what you've read, and then by the end of it, you're like, and I'm going for a sleep, because I've just used up all my brain energy for the foreseeable future. So, but we do it because we love it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
How you doing?
Right.
Oh, I'm okay. I'm sorry. I had to change my bandages. My alarm like went off, and I was like, "Oh crap! This was the worst timing ever."
Okay, this is proof that I haven't seen you for ages. What the hell have you got bandages from?
Oh, I had surgery on Wednesday.
And I'm finding out about this now.
Oh no, you're not alone, Derry. I found out about this when I popped on Spritz, and I was like, "Wait, what? You got talking about legal Percocet?"
Yeah, legal Percocet.
Legal Percocet.
Okay, I think I caught the tail end of that, because I got the Percocet conversation.
But, yeah, I was talking about it a little bit yesterday with Anita and Evie.
So was this a planned surgery, or did you hurt yourself?
No, it was a planned surgery. The recovery is not going as planned.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's hard.
I had ovarian cysts removed. and there was a complication with the laparoscopic part, and so I have to be home from school for 2 weeks, which sucks because I had two exams this week. And
I was going to say, aren't you in exam sort of window? Oh.
Yeah, I have 2 exams this week that I can't attend, which one of them I'm upset about, and one of them I'm not so upset about.
But you're able to take those later with it having been surgery? Yeah. That's something.
Yeah, they have to allow me to retake them.
Yeah.
It like goes against school policy if they didn't. So.
Oh, well, that's a relief.
But
I don't imagine studying Percocet is particularly helpful.
Oh, absolutely not. That's why one of them is a practical exam, which I was going to work on before I realized I had to change my stuff, which is suturing. So I'm like learning how to do stitching.
Yay!
And then the other one is a really big exam I have to study for, which I'm not mad about because I have not been able to study the last like 4 or 5 days because I've been in a lot of pain.
Yeah. Oh, honey, that is not a good few days.
No, it's been rather crap. And I had one of my best friends stayed with me for a couple days, and then Joe came and took over for her for a couple days. And today was my first day home alone. So.
Oh no! No wonder we're having sprints.
Yeah, so I've been laying down all day. Like I'm actually gonna lay down right now. I'm gonna lay on my side and not sit up. Ugh.
Yeah.
And I've been super bored. I've watched Shadow and Bone twice over the last couple of days. And I've played Animal Crossing and I've read not stuff I should be reading for the reading sprint or the reading stuff either, Stacy. So y'all are safe for now.
All the bands are selling out and you're just out there spruiking tickets.
It sounds like I missed a good conversation though. What did I miss?
We were talking about how we all connect, right? Like I think one of the good points that Derry made was that books and stories gives us a framework to connect these really profound thoughts and gives us like it helps us think the same like similar profound thoughts on like a really like on a certain subject at the same time and give us the framework to talk about them. Whereas like in real life that it's like ships passing in the night sometimes of just like, you know, you might think a profound thought, but nobody else is around you is thinking that profound thought because they're not in the same media or anything that you're doing. And
oh yeah.
So it's hard to find those deep conversations sometimes.
I think if I've learned anything in the last, year, especially with my friendship with Derry and Anita, is talking about trauma with people and like how reading can facilitate conversations about trauma that you wouldn't necessarily have with people in like a normal conversation or even in a way with like a therapist or something, because you can connect it with these things that happen that can't happen in real life because it's fantasy and it's fiction, and you can come together with people who, you might not, who have experienced trauma in different ways than you have, and like learn about it from these different angles and also like about healing.
Yeah. So. And it's safe because you're not, as you would be if you were talking to a therapist, you're not talking about yourself. You're talking about a third person, and you're talking about how that's a really healthy thing that you can see and how you can see that that's not a healthy thing. And all the while, you're able to reflect it back on yourself and have those thoughts about, oh, I do that. And, I should probably do that. But you're having a discussion in a less personal, more confronting way.
Yeah, you get to see that from outside.
Yeah. And I think that that's really powerful, that being able to have those discussions just that one step removed and yet still be really intense, in what's being talked about and how everybody's reacting.
So it's almost like you can learn about yourself in some ways, especially when you connect really hard with characters you wish you didn't connect really hard with, like Malta. And
I've
yeah,
very early in my booktube journey, I realized that I connected so profoundly with Fitz that I didn't realize how stupid he was. It wasn't until I saw him from other people's perspective and had people going, that was a really stupid decision, that I started to see that was a stupid decision. Why did I think it was normal? And then be able to reflect that back on my own trauma and go, I do that.
Yeah.
You know, but and a fictional book can do that when you're having a discussion with other people because they are seeing this behavior from outside, and suddenly being that connected with a character isn't necessarily a great thing. You know,
Mhm.
or you
okay,
go, wow, that was
he's really
profoundly
broken and I relate.
or that was a
So,
horrible thing to do to your parents, or wow, that was really
Yeah.
bitchy. And then you go, oh wait,
yeah, a
I've
lot of
been
mine
that.
was more, I do that with people. Oh, wow, he has that relationship with his people who raised him. That's why I do that. Okay, I should keep that in mind.
Yeah.
It's like when you find your character that's like your
Yeah,
soul character almost.
it can hurt.
It can hurt, but it also helps you see yourself in a different light, I think.
Yeah,
Mhm.
So.
absolutely. I've quite often said, Fitz would do that. Maybe call your sister, you know,
Yeah.
and because Fitz will go and deal with something on his own, and I'll be reading it going, Fitz, ask for help, you know. And so I'm like, this is something Fitz would do. I should call my sister or my friend or whoever and just sort of, you know, share the load and
Mhm.
lighten it as a result. So,
Oh yeah, it's very empowering when you figure out that too, like a way to almost, it's like a hack for your own brain. Where you're
oh
like,
yeah,
oh, this thing, like my thing, my hack, which it's not book related, but mine is if I don't want to talk about it with my friend or my therapist, then that's probably what I should be talking
should be
about.
talking about.
And I shouldn't be doing it. So,
Yeah.
like, yeah. Anita and Pete, have either of you found a character that you highly, highly relate to, whether that be a good or bad thing?
I will say that not really. I think there have been characters that I'm like, I remember making decisions like this.
Yeah.
But a lot of them tend to be decisions that I've moved on from. Like that's like, hey, past self cringy stuff. And
But
it's
yay,
kind of like,
growth.
okay, yay, growth, yes.
Yeah.
I think the thing with reading that I find valuable is kind of what you guys were talking about with healing, or not, is about assisting others in healing more than anything. Because I think, and seeing how others go through trauma and recover, and and hearing the conversations that some of this has sparked is just like learning how to help others.
Oh yeah.
Because I one of the things that kind of was a bit formative for me when in the end of high school, I was in a relationship with a girl that, like, you know, she had some depression issues, and I, being young and stupid, did not know how to deal with them, and it wasn't really emotionally healthy for us. And I'm really glad that relationship did not continue.
Yeah, and that's not something
So
to sort of feel like you were stupid about. That was just something that you
I
hadn't
was
had been educated about yet.
yeah,
It was
it
like
wasn't.
your knowledge, and you know, reading gives you that without having to do it the really hard way.
Reading and discussion with others and kind of experiencing more, just like having looked back on that and been like, I wish I could have been just better.
Mm.
I mean, it's not necessarily a bad thing. Like, I think the whole blaming myself and the unforgiveness for myself is something I've gotten over. But
Good.
like what I've got out of it is just like, hey, I want to be able to help. I want to be able to, like, okay, if I accept the fact that whoever I, you know, eventually get married to is not going to be perfect. I want to be in a position to help them as much as possible. So, and help my friends and people around me as much as possible. So it's kind of like, that's
awesome. That's really awesome to have something to aspire to,
Mhm.
and And I'll be honest, I would love to be like Kettricken because I think she's the best bitch ever in print. And if I
She's
could
amazing.
if I could embody the things that I admire in that character, I think I would be a really great person on the planet because I think that that's the case. So I do try and be the things I admire in that character. So it can be really, aspirational to go, oh,
Yeah.
I want to have that insight for people. I want to be the shoulder they cry on. I want to be available to, as you said, support people through hard stuff. So yeah, it's it's a good thing. Books are great.
I can see that, Derry. I can see that in you.
Thanks. So
yes, exactly. And I want to not be stupid about it. Not be stupid, young dumb Pete.
Yeah. And that's hard because when you're in it, and it's really hard to sort of remove yourself enough to see the situation for what it is. So
also, we're very selfish when we're young, and that's just part of our developmental age. That's the stage we go through. Like,
like it's literally a brain development phase. Yep. So it's inescapable.
When we are young, we are too idealistic. We want everything to be perfect, and we think we are perfect. So our standards are pretty high. When we grow up, we realize that we are not perfect. At the same time, we stop expecting perfect. We are willing to compromise on a few things. Things change a lot.
That's right.
Well, most people think that
the best people can forgive it in others because you've discovered it in yourself. So
healthy people.
Yay for healthy people with growth. Yay.
Yay.
It's a continuous process.
Oh, it so is. It so is. I mean, I'm getting dangerously close to 50 and I still make these really quite profound shifts in my thinking and think, how have I not figured this out by now? I have been on the planet a long time. I should have figured that out already.
But it's like little victories. I don't know if anyone else feels like this, but I mean, I've gone through like a serious exponential growth spurt of my like inner self in the last couple of years. And whenever I have one of those wins, I always want to text one of my best friends and be like, I figured this life thing out. Like, be proud of me.
You should. And I have found since I moved in with my best friend this year, that's what we do for each other. And that literally it's reasonably common for one of us to go, I figured this out. And the other one to go, yay, let's have a drink. We probably should figure that one out to maybe celebrate in a healthier way. But
look, if it's red wine, it helps with your heart.
There is a thing called resveratrol, and it will help keep you younger and gets rid of things called radicals in the body. And, it's very good for you. And the fact that you have to drink an entire vineyard worth of red wine to have technical, benefits doesn't matter.
I will take that under advisement.
Has anyone ever had the Cadbury, mini?
They're standard affair here.
They're good.
Yeah.
They're so good. These are the dark chocolate ones.
You know what's crack cocaine?
Says.
Starburst jelly beans. That's crack cocaine right there.
Those are good.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
But okay.
So, this was 2 or 3 years ago, but I was, out on my own for the first time. I went to Ollie's shortly after Easter, and they had, and Ollie's is this discount place.
Half price chocolate.
I got 20 bags of Starburst jelly beans.
Oh no!
Yeah, they were $20.
Oh.
Less than $20. It was super cheap. It was great.
Pete was on a sugar high for several days, and then the stuff happened.
And then he slept for 25 hours straight.
And woke up really grumpy.
No, I made them last for a few months, thankfully. But it still was just
See, you're too good for this world, Pete.
Accident. Well, I'm better than I was, I would think. I can still knock a bag out in a day if I really want to.
Okay, I won't mention that I can eat a whole packet of chocolates in a sitting. But, that's fine.
Shall we read?
Oh, we probably should, actually. We've been chinwagging for ages.
Hey, it's Katie.
Hello.
Hey, Katie.
I'm probably going to have to dip after this next sprint just because I'm gonna.
I'm about to say that my eyes are closing after this sprint. I'll drop off.
Fair
Me
enough.
too, except for I'm gonna have to take another pain med, and that's gonna make me pass out.
Oh, okay. So if I'm the last one here, I'll turn out the lights.
Okay.
Okay.
You just got to the reveal in your thriller. Don't make me be
Nice.
productive. Kim, that's what these are for. We're supposed to be productive.
It's literally the point.
This is literally the exact same time we started last time. So why don't we go till the good old top of the hour? Pete,
Sounds good.
it's top of the day.
Yep. Top of the day. Let's go to the top of the day.
So I'll see you all in just under half an hour. Be productive, Kim.
I will see y'all tomorrow.
Yes, see y'all tomorrow. Technically. Oh, Pete, the dad jokes.
I'm too tired to laugh, but Pete, it's a good one.
It's a new day.
New day, new hour, new book, new friends, new people.
Gosh, I didn't know you hit us that much, Anita.
One day more.
That means you've joined me in repeat.
I did. You are no longer ahead of us.
Welcome to the future.
Oh, it's a wonderful place.
I read 30 pages, man. This little guy is really good.
What is
Nice.
that? What are you reading?
It's called Burning Roses.
Nice.
It's a novella, and it fits just the page mark for the.
Beautiful. Get it.
Perfect.
It's a crossover blend of Chinese and European folk stories, combination of fairy tales, rich storytelling, and older queer women full of scars.
Oh,
And
I like it.
as far as I can tell, it's like there's obviously like Asian folklore. She's an archer. I don't know if she's supposed to be like quasi Mulan type, but the other main character is Rosa, and she's like Red Riding Hood. Only she's been like transported to another world, which is where like the Asian part comes in, and it dumps you right in the middle of the action. So all I know is that they met and somehow they're both fighting these like monsters together, and so they're going after a sunbird right now, and it's or like a firebird or something, and it's really good.
Cool.
So
Nice. Sounds very interesting.
yeah, highly recommend so far. 30 pages is really fast for me, and the font's kind of big, but like I was still like falling asleep.
30 pages.
Yeah. I'll probably finish it tomorrow.
Then you can go, yes, I finished something.
I can. I'll be like, Stacy, document.
Yeah. Well, I'll be able to, hopefully tomorrow I'll have finished The Way of Dan, and I'll be able to say I've finished something for my readathon.
How is The Way of Dan?
I'm enjoying it a lot.
You like it?
I really do. But I do also kind of think I'm Philip's ideal audience. And that the bridging between Tolkien and modern fantasy is so my thing. So to have as much Tolkien in it as there is, and by that I mean it's very atmospheric and it's really beautiful and the lore is really rich, and then the modern elements, which are just kind of in your face action, it works for me because I'm like, yeah, I'm at home with both of these things. So I do think I'm the ideal audience, but I'm enjoying it a lot.
Do you think that Way of Dawn could be used to as a stepping stone for someone who likes modern fantasy to get used to something like Tolkien? So like uses
I do.
Okay.
I do, because it's very old fashioned in the way that our good guys and our bad guys are very clear.
Mm-hmm.
And yet it's very modern in that both our good guy and our bad guy have got different things driving them, that sometimes what's driving them is really good, but the way they're going about it is really bad, and vice versa.
Yeah.
And the very immersive writing, the very descriptive writing is very Tolkien. It's very much about beautiful places and feeling of good or bad places in the same way that Tolkien does. So I think it's a really good way to try and work backwards into older fantasy.
Yeah, that's something I've been curious about. And I think I'm gonna read it next month, and that's definitely something that I'm like that I was thinking about keeping in mind as I read it. It's like, how is this as a recommendation of that? Because I think that is not something that I would.
This is Anita saying good night, I think.
I am falling off, so I'm dropping. I'll listen to you from comments. Okay, you guys.
Alrighty.
Good night.
Good night, Anita.
Have a lovely sleep, and we'll see you when we see you.
Good night.
Yeah. I was pleasantly surprised. Like the prologue of The Way of Dan had me going, oh, Philip, that's gross. And just like, I think feeling as familiar as we do with Philip, it can be a bit shocking to be like, whoa, that came out of that man's head.
I always feel weird reading things by people that I know. And so
Yeah.
I'm always a little just like curious, like, am I going to like this? Is my opinion of it going to be tainted because I know who they are outside of their writing?
I don't
I think
think
it's-
that would fall into this, but because you
Yeah.
read it and you go, oh yeah, Philip definitely wrote this. But there are definitely moments when you're like, oh, okay, there's some dark places in your head.
Mhm.
I'm really glad you put it on paper. So,
I mean, with what he's read, I think, has he read R. Scott Baker? I don't remember.
I think he
I know.
has, but I don't think he's read very much, although I could very well be wrong.
R. Scott Baker scares me.
R. Scott
probably
Baker
not for me.
excites me in a oh, this is something new way. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, and people's opinions of it are really positive if you're into that kind of the darkness dwells within kind of thing.
Yeah. Ethan's saying he's read Mark
Lawrence.
Lawrence. But I think the concept, R. Scott Baker is the one who really hammers against us not having a free will. And like,
Yeah.
That's a conversation I'm looking forward to having.
Yeah.
Because I am emphatically in favor of free will.
Oh, absolutely. And I know Amanda from Shelf Unstable. I think that's her channel name. She's a huge Baker fan. Huge. The Dark Queen of Jimmy's Discord. She's very much into the slightly more disturbing reads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be interested to know what she likes and what she doesn't like. What's her channel called?
Pretty sure it's Shelf Unstable.
Shelf Unstable. Wow, that makes sense.
And yeah, it's very much it's not a happy ever after kind of channel. This is like, okay, this is what we read when we're after deep things and dark things and disturbing things. And
yeah, Anita, I'm kind of that's why I'm interested in her channel, because I want to hear her reviews, but I don't want to have to read the book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but you never know. I mean, she's great at selling a book. I mean, crikey, she got me into J. Christoph. So, got to be glad about that. So,
oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely like one of those things. Like I need to come to terms about this with books that I like for instance, like with Grace of Kings and stuff like that. I'm just like being okay that people won't read it.
Yeah.
And like I can understand that for books that I like less, that I'm like not like Milton's the wrong word, exuberantly ecstatic about. Like, I love Malazan, but I also have recognized that not everybody's going to read it. Not everybody should read it because not everybody's going to enjoy it. And kind of like finding that balance of figuring out if somebody's just going to hate it when they read it.
Yeah.
But they're definitely books that not everybody's going to read.
That's how I feel about Tender as the Flesh. Like, I want everyone to read Tender as the Flesh because I want to talk about it with everyone, but absolutely there are people who should not ever read that book because they would not be able to handle it. And like, there are so many people that are just so grossed out with the surface level part of the book
that they're never going to be able to see beyond
dig into the deeper parts, which is why I love it. Like, do you think I like reading about cannibalism? No, but I like the themes that surround the book.
Yeah. I mean, very fine with whimsical, but cozy as a no. Discworld, my God. Discworld.
Kim,
as whimsical as all out, man.
Kim, you're vegan. Of course you're never going to read Tender.
Or you could, in fact, be somebody who absolutely loves it. Not knowing what the themes are, I don't know. But,
I just imagined like a VeggieTales reimagining of Tender as the Flesh where they're like peeling Larry the Cucumber.
Okay, that's pretty horrifying.
I'm so sorry. I just ruined my own childhood.
It is so disturbing.
Bob the tomato being pressed into a spaghetti.
It hurts to laugh. Oh my God.
Oh, don't laugh, honey. Don't laugh. Don't laugh. In fact, be angry. Rogue, what do you mean you don't like Discworld? That's not okay. Why not? It's amazing.
Rogue,
I'm
that's a
feeling
really hot take.
personally
Boy.
insulted. Oh,
See, I'm slow going with the Discworld, but I don't hate it. I just can only take so much, like,
Yeah.
what's the right word for it?
Satirical fantasy?
No, absurdism. I can only take so much absurdism at once.
Yeah,
I think-
and it does depend which books you're reading for the level of
Yeah.
absurdism, because some of them are remarkably realistic.
Yeah,
So-
I had to take a step back from equal rights because I was reading that right when the Roe v. Wade stuff was going down.
Oh,
And I was like, I'm too angry with you to read about you, Granny Weatherwax. I can't do this right now.
Yeah.
You're making me mad.
yeah. But,
I'm
yeah.
curious, Rogue, which ones were you reading? Because
Yeah.
like I can kind of understand that for Color of Magic, because like
Oh God, yeah.
Color of Magic like skated by me like a figure skater. I'm like, wait, what am I watching?
Yeah. And it's not great. Even Terry was like, I don't know why anyone would go out of their way to read this. He genuinely didn't get why it had fans. He was like, But yeah. And yeah, here we go. Love Hitchhiker's Guide. Discworld didn't do it. Okay.
Discworld. There's so
I love
many.
Hitchhiker's Guide too. But again, Discworld is so varied. So I'm really curious to find out which ones just you bounced off. The first four. Literally the worst four of the series. Oh my God. Like literally. They're the ones where he was going, I'm going to play with this genre because it's easy. And it wasn't until book 7, book 8 that he decided that, I could actually use this for something really good. And so none of them get good until probably Weird Sisters is the first good one. And then it's Guards, which is also an excellent one. So,
I'm still a Death stan. I'm a Death book stan.
But Death is really philosophical. Like, yes, it's funny and it's lighthearted and there's stuff going on and you meet the wizards and you meet lots of other people, but it's very philosophical. It's very meaning of life and, what is life and what is humanity and,
I have a feeling I'm going to really love Death, but right now I'm a Going Postal man.
Oh, yeah. Moist is fantastic. I love Moist. Moist is awesome, as is Spike. So
I haven't read any of the standalones yet because I kind of got turned. My very first one was Monstrous Regiment when I was younger, and I just was not in the right headspace to read it, and I just didn't like it.
Yeah, you can bounce off that one pretty hard if you're not familiar with the world.
So I'm a little nervous about going back into the standalone.
You would like The Truth, and so would you, Pete. The Truth is literally the first printing press in Ankh-Morpork, and it's rather glorious. If you, I'm not sure if you've encountered Gaspode, the talking dog, yet, but he's in The Truth, and he's again glorious.
Also, hello, Nero.
Yes, sorry, Nero. We weren't ignoring you, I promise. Oh, we got it too bad. Oh,
this is fair.
No, it is fair, and I get it. It just makes me sad because the teaser you gave yourself was solid, but you could not have picked 4 worse books if you had tried. That makes me really sad. And it's literally why I started my channel.
To get
so people
to read
Discworld would go, how to read Discworld into YouTube to get all the different opinions, and mine would be one of them. That was literally my only goal. So
I think you're doing a fantastic job, though.
Absolutely. Can't agree.
Yeah. I just love them. And it makes me sad that the first few in the series are so bad.
Yeah, because a lot of people are like, okay, you want me to read something? Give me 1, 2, and 3. It's like people who are like, okay, you really like this band, so I guess I'll try them out. And I'm only going to listen to the top 4 stream songs. And it's like,
yeah,
it's
a combination of those things. Yep. Because as readers, particularly fantasy readers who read series, we all know you don't start in the middle. You find the beginning and you read from the beginning.
Hey, Colin.
Hey, Colin.
Excuse my yawning. I
tell them never to mention it again if they don't like it. Okay, folks, I like that. That's good. Part of mine, you go. See, Nero started with Guards, which is a really good one and wants to get to some more. So
I will say that I mentioned Discworld to my mother, and she started Color of Magic, and she said she liked it.
but anyone who's been reading for a long time understands what's being made fun of. But you have to have read a lot.
I wouldn't say
old,
she's a primarily fantasy reader. She likes a lot of cozy mysteries and stuff like that.
but a lot of
but she is pretty widely read.
Tropes, a lot of the tropes. So yeah, and it's just so unlike any other series. Any other series, the massive hardcore fans are going to be really insistent about what order you've got to read them in, about how just literally how you should go about reading the series, what kind of mindset you need to be in. And Discworld, just find one that sounds interesting to you and read it. And if you like it, read some more. If you don't like it, if it wasn't the writing itself that turned you off, find another one. It doesn't matter. Just hop about, jump around. Chaos order is the best way.
It is.
Yeah, it's fabulous.
Oh no, Anita, is there like some creature?
Did she fall asleep at the keyboard?
I felt like her phone fell on her face for that first one.
You know what?
You know what? It's definitely you know what.
Yeah.
You know
and
what?
exactly it, right?
Let us know you're okay and that you're not having a stroke over there in Canada. Just making
Because
sure.
we're worrying. Yeah,
Just
we're worrying now.
Slightly. My very first Discworld book that I liked, that I also read in high school, but I didn't know where to go from there because I did not have any Darys or Allens in my life, was Soul Music.
Oh, I love that one. Because, you can't go wrong with constantly asking the guy who has a guitar, essentially, and a cowlick, if he's Elvish. Are you Elvish? Because, he could be Elvish, sorry. But, and if you've watched the Blues Brothers, to have a dwarf and a troll who should hate each other, stealing a piano, getting stopped by a guard, what are you doing? Being told I'm on a mission from Glod.
Yes.
It was like the heaven opened and angels sang. I was like, that was just the perfect joke for that moment. It was just perfect. And so, yeah, I love soul music. It's great. Plus, I like Susan. So
Susan's the bomb. Susan's the best. I want to be Susan.
Well, I think I already am a bit of Susan, because one of the quotes that defines Susan for me is, Susan was sensible. Unfortunately, being sensible doesn't always make you right. And I thought, oh, I feel you, honey. I feel you a lot.
In the bones.
Yeah, they're so good. Rinse, Wind and Two Flower. Oh, Colin's read the early ones. Yes.
And if you don't have that friend, guess what?
You're the one everybody can't stand being around when their own shit hits the fan. Because you're like, well, I don't know how that happens. That never happens to me.
It's because you've dodged it for a millennia.
Yeah.
And
you're the reason I keep getting hit with it.
Yes. Yes.
Anyway.
They dodge out of the way of the pie and then it gets right in your face.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But,
well, I must be going because I do have things to sleep on.
I also have to go because I need to take my next pain pill and go to sleep.
Yes, you should. And it was lovely chatting with everybody and lovely hanging out with the chat and sharing my insane jigsawing.
I love watching you do your puzzles. You just zoom. I don't know how you do it.
Well, it's part of it is not having the picture. So I have to look at every piece all the time. And then so when I find a piece, I'm like, oh, I know where that piece goes because I've just built a bit. So I can put
it takes a very good memory to do that.
Yes,
it's just a focus thing because I don't have to think about anything else. This is my when my anxiety is high, I can do a lot of jigsawing because it just brings me all just back in and shuts everything else out.
Is it like a meditation almost?
Yeah. Yeah, because I'm looking for specific things.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you have that and you know that it works for you. That's a very powerful thing.
Yeah, so I'm just looking for bits of castle at the moment, but I'm looking at all the pieces. So by the time I get to the next bit, I will have looked at all the pieces so many times, I will be more familiar with them and it will go faster. By the time I get to the end of this, it'll be pretty quick.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Maybe I'll try that next time I do a puzzle. Just not look at it like
Yeah, and literally just let the pieces find each other. And then each time you get a connection, it feels like a win.
That's such a romantic way to think about a puzzle, and I love it.
It is. And then, little mini dopamine hits when you make a match. You're like, yay, you go there. So,
I'm sorry, Colin, that we're leaving without doing an extra sprint for you, but
sorry.
I will be finishing at least one book for Team Beatles tonight / tomorrow morning.
Yay!
So we will be getting places.
Sure.
Anita, you're too tired to do a puzzle now.
You are way too tired to do a puzzle now. So.
Yeah, no, I have some board games that I play like on my there's a game called Spirit Island that I play a bunch in a similar manner because
it's totally focused.
Yeah, it's a puzzle.
Yeah,
but it's like a logic puzzle of cards and a bunch of other things. It's a heavyweight board game.
Nice, sounds good.
So it's
fun. Might have to send me a link so I can look at
it. There are very few people I can play it with. That's the issue.
I have always wanted to play Spirit Islands, but I've never had the chance.
It's amazing.
Send me a link and I will look at it.
It's the one where you're playing as
it's the anti-colonialist. Yeah, so you're playing as a spirit of the island, and you're trying to drive out the white people.
Yeah, basically.
I like it.
Yeah,
I do like that.
It's very on the nose, and it's hilarious.
I enjoy that concept already.
Yeah,
but I should let you both go because you are both falling asleep.
All right, good night, lovely people. We're going to end this broadcast.
Bye, everybody.
Good night, everyone. Thank you for being here today.